In this big clip of video, I'm going to do a playthrough of the Night Cage. Now, they have a Kickstarter going at the moment for an expansion. I'm not in any way affiliated, but I would recommend you go and check it out because this is a brilliant game. So this is going to be a solo playthrough. I have lost my miniatures, so I'm going to be using coloured dice, but I hope that doesn't put you off too much, and I really hope that you enjoy this video. So the first part of planning this game is setting it up, which doesn't take too long but is a little bit fiddly. You have these tokens. These are the playing tokens which form the map, and you need to pick out a bunch that are going to be the first ones that you pick from, and then all the rest of the others you need to shuffle them together and then place them inside this awesome stand. So that's what I'm going to do now. I will put some music on and you can watch, and I'll let you know roughly how long it has taken me. Okay, as I was about to start, I saw this compartment had a little bit of foam in it, and underneath that I found my miniatures. So I'm not going to need to play with the dice anymore, so that's very, very good news. Anyway, let's get this game set up, and yeah, I'll, as I said just now, I'll put some music on and you can watch how long it takes. Okay, as you can see, hopefully, it's a little bit fiddly, but it's not so bad. So what we're now going to do is roll out the mat. I would recommend getting this. It's a beautiful bit of kit. It's very beautifully done, very, as you say, evocative. And what we're going to do is we're going to set out our stuff. So what you do, you have your discard board, which is what I was using to place the tokens on when I was sorting them out, to place the tiles on when I'm sorting them out. So you need to have that because you do discard as you go. So I'm going to put this over here. You then have your player tokens. So green, purple, red and blue is what I'll do. I'm only going to play a 5-player solo game. So we'll put them on each corner. Tuck that bag out of the way. Put one of those on each corner. There we are. And then each player gets a nerve token and a starting tile. So the starting tiles I set to one side earlier, and you can see we've got a starting tile for each one now. Those are the starting tiles. And then these are the nerve tokens. So one each, and what we'll do is we will stick these on the just in the little pile here, which is where they go. And I'll also need to get the miniatures out, which I've found, as I say. So that's always good. The other thing we need is to get the keys, and the keys go over here. There's a little place for them there. So I'll dig them out of the box now, and then what we'll do is we will start playing. Right, we've got everything laid out. You can see we've got the miniatures out and everything is now organised and sorted. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off, and the first thing that you do is you play your starting tile. So the starting tile looks like this, and that is, you can see that it has 2 exits. You can place it anywhere you want on the board. So you place it on the board where you want, you place your miniature on it, and what's then happening is your little candle is illuminating 1 square away from where you are now. And I won't go into this for every turn, I'll just explain it quickly. So you pull a tile and you get to place that down anywhere you want, and you pull another tile and you get to place that down. So now you've got illuminated. Now the only other thing to say is if I quickly zoom in on this starting card, sorry, call it a card, starting tile, you can see the cracks on that. What that means is if you stay on there, if you don't move, next turn you'll fall through, and there are rules for that. So next up, we're going to go around the table this way, clockwise. So next up is going to be the red one. So I do not have to place this abutting or adjacent. I can place it anywhere. But what I've found in playing this is a relatively good idea to stay close to each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to start him there, and then we're going to pull our next token. So there we are, we have our next token. So let's place the yellow. I'm actually going to start him separate. So there we are. So we've got 2 to illuminate. We've got 1 there, and we've got 1 below. And then the last but not least, we've got our purple dude, who I'm also going to place slightly separate. That goes a straight line, and that goes a straight line. So that's turn 1. I'm going to actually quickly blow my nose and then we'll do turn 2. Alright, so here we are, let's get back to this. So the purpose of this game is to find the keys and escape. And the only way you can open the escape is if all 4 of your players have a key and they all get to the end exit, to the gate. And that's how you escape. And you only have this amount of time before you're run out of time. So that's what the tiles represent, is the amount of time you've got in the table. So, sorry, I cheated then. So what you need to do, I'm starting with blue, he needs to move, and he needs to move in either he can move here or he can move here. So I'm going to move him here, and that means I have 2 to expose. So that's the first one I'm going to do, and then the second one is a wax eater. Oh no! So a wax eater is one of the monsters you get in this game. So when I first played this, I did it wrong, but you do not have an impact of a wax eater until you move. So just to make this clear, that also has turned into a pit because I've moved off it. So if I were to move to here and it wasn't a pit, then that wax eater could attack me. But next turn, if I'm able to move here, then its attack misses me. So they're not quite as scary as I thought they were when I first started. Anyway, so now let's do Mr. Red. Mr. Red is going to go here, which means he only has 1 tile to expose, and that can go there. So as you can see, it moves quite fast. Oh, it moves quite fast, and yeah, it's not very fast, not a very slow game to play. So yellow is going to go there, which means he's going to pick 1, and he gets a wax eater as well. Oh no! So finally, we've got red. Red is, so the good thing with this is that this wax eater is not viewing this tile. So as I move into there, which is what I'm going to do, I don't expose anything, but I also don't get attacked because there's a wall there, and that turns into a black hole. So that's turn 2. Let's go to turn 3. So what I'm going to do now is, this is going to become a little bit interesting. I've kind of not done myself very well here because I'm going to need to come down here to escape this wax eater. Okay. And that's going to then block this guy here. But let's do that anyway because it's only a game. So we come down here. The first thing that happens is any tiles that are no longer illuminated, which does include that one, actually from when red moved, I missed that. And what you do is you put it over on your discard pile. This one goes away, which is a start, because it's no longer illuminated. And the wax eater goes away, which is always nice. Okay, now what I get to do is I get to, because you only illuminate along the corridors, so I now get to pull 1 extra. I get another wax eater. Now this is bad, and the reason this is bad is because this guy's moved in, this guy's here. When he moves, it's going to trigger the wax eater. If he doesn't move, he's going to fall, and it's going to trigger the wax eater. So yeah, pretty bad all round. So now we're going to go for red. Red does not have very many options that are not going to involve a wax eater. So I'm in a bad situation. This game is going pretty tough for me. Let's zoom that a little bit more so you can see a bit better. So you can see that he can move there and fall. He can move there and get got by a wax eater, or he can move there and get got by a wax eater. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to fall. Now what that will do is it will mean I discard this tile and this tile. And what I also need to do is go and have a quick look at the rules, because I haven't fallen before, and find out what that means. Okay, so what I do is I fall off the, basically fall through this hole. And what I do, I place my prisoner token along the board edge, either by the edge of the row or the column you occupied. So I can either put it here or here. So I'm going to put it there. What that then means is that these ones are also discarded because they're no longer illuminated because I've fallen through. So we're going to take those off. And then I'll come back on in the next turn somewhere along this row. And that's how that works. So what we're going to do, oh, that should be a pit, forgot about that. So we're going to do, we're going to do yellow. So yellow goes here. That means that this wax eater disappears. And I don't actually get to, and also that disappears, and I don't actually get to illuminate anything. So now we're going to get to this bad situation. So I'm going to stay dead still here, and that is going to turn into a pit, and I'm just going to quickly check to see whether that is going to trigger the wax eater. Okay, so allowing myself to fall through there means that I do not trigger the wax eater. So that's a sensible thing. So I'm going to now place him down here. However, that does mean that all of these are still illuminated because they're still illuminated by yellow and blue. So that's the end of this turn. I'm going to lose track of all turns, doesn't matter. That's the end of the turn, let's go to the next turn. All right, so we have blue on the table, so I can move up to there. What that will mean is these two tiles are discarded. So let's move them off. And it means that I can illuminate two more. So, a wax eater and a T-junction. So, now we come to red. So what I'm going to do is when I'm falling, you basically pick where you're going to go, you pick a tile and you put it down. Now the problem I've got here is that I have a wax eater here. So I'm going to need to place the tile here so the wax eater can't get to me. So I'm going to place, oh, and I find the key. Find a gate. So he lands on the gate like that. Now this can now, sorry, that's what I meant. This can now expose 4 more tiles. So let's just go around in order. So we've got one there. We've got one that comes in down here because it does wrap around. Got one there. And we've got another key. So this is another gate. Now this is a little bit difficult because things disappear and they don't come back. So I'm going to need to keep those in sight, which does limit my options. But anyway, that's what he can do. So now we've got yellow. Yellow is now going to move up here, which is about the only place he can go. And that will mean that this is discarded. And he can now expose 2 more. So we're going to do that. And we're going to do that. And finally we've got purple. Purple is going to place his token in here, I think. Yep. And that means that he lands on there. And then he can expose this one, which is a straight line. There we are. So let's just make sure everything is, that one can go, no, that one's by him, yeah. So everything is illuminated as it should be. Everyone is back on the board. Let's go to the next turn. If you're wondering why I'm doing that, it's because I'm coughing in between each turn. Right, so but the only place that blue can go is going to be back down here to try to avoid this wax eater. So that is going to remove those 2. Let's put that wax eater there and put the T-junction there. And he can now illuminate 2 more. So we've got a straight line, which I'm going to put there. And we have another gate. So this is getting a bit interesting. Getting these gates this early, before I've received any keys, is a little bit annoying. Right, so to keep the gates, what I'm going to do with red is I'm going to move there. That is going to mean that that goes away and that goes away, which isn't perfect, but I do want to hang the gates around. And then I'm going to pull some more of the tiles. 2 T-junctions. So now we're going to do yellow. So yellow is going to go over here. Now that will mean that this goes away, because that is no longer illuminated, and I can illuminate 1 more. Now that's not a bad one to have, so I can now get through to these gates, but I still have no keys, which isn't ideal. What purple is going to do is he's going to move back here. That turns into a hole, and I illuminate 1 more. So we get another T-junction. So that's another turn. You see how quick it goes? About a minute, minute and a half each go. And you can start to see it's really building up now. I'm a third of the way through all of my tiles and I still haven't got a single key, and I've got 3 gates on, which is going to make this quite complex. Right then, so blue. What blue's going to do? What blue's going to do is going to go onto the gate. So what that'll do is it'll mean that that goes away and that goes away, because they are no longer illuminated. And it means I can pull 2 new ones. I have a crossroads and another crossroads. Lots of crossroads together. My hair obviously didn't do very well with my shuffling. So now we have red. So red is going to go there. That will mean that that is gone. Actually, is red going to go there? Red's going to go there, which means that we're losing the gate, and we're losing that one, and we're losing that one, but we've managed to keep the communication and the connection with our buddies. Okay. He can now expose 1 more. There we are. So now yellow. Yellow is going to move across here. What that means is nothing is discarded. Actually, yeah, nothing is discarded because everything is still illuminated by a candle. So now it is going to be purple's turn, and purple is going to move down here, which means that that goes away and that goes away. And now we've got 1 more we can expose, and we have found a key. Fantastic. Right, so let's do the next turn. Okay, so we've got 1 key, which is very, very good. So what's blue going to do? Blue is going to move up to here. What that will do is it will lose all of these connections away from that point, which may or may not be a good decision. We shall find out. And I now can expose 2 more. Another key. This is getting very interesting. And a crossroads. Okay, so we've got 2 keys we can get this turn, which is pretty cool. Let's have a look at red. What red's going to do is he's going to go back onto that gate, because I think that might be the gate we try and keep. So that means that this goes away. But he can draw 3 more. Oh no! We have a wax eater, we have a T-junction, and we have a key. So this is now looking a little bit better. If I can get another key very soon, then I might even be able to escape with my life, which would be nice. So yellow. What yellow's going to do is yellow's going to come down here and is going to get a key. So I'll put the key onto the playing thing, which is out of shot. Let me zoom that out a bit. Put the key on over here, and that tells me that yellow has the key. So that's yellow's move, and that means that nothing gets discarded, because that's illuminated by that one, or this one gets discarded. No, this one's illuminated by that one, illuminated by that one. Yeah, nothing gets discarded at this stage, I think. So now we're going to go for purple. Purple can go here, get a key as well. So I'll put a key on purple's thing, and we'll discard that one. Now what that means is that they can expose 3 more. Right, this is where it's going to get a little bit more interesting, because there's another key. However, purple and yellow have the keys. Right. And another key. We have all the keys out now. I need to have shuffled these a lot better. Anyway, so that's that. That's the end of the turn. This is where it starts to get, I have to really think hard. I've just sat and stared at this for a few minutes, and I think that I may be able to win, but I may not be able to win, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 key tokens out, and I don't think there's any way that I can keep them exposed while I get my red and my blue over to get one of the other 2. But anyway, it is what it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to move blue up here, okay, and that's going to expose 1 more. Ooh. But it's also going to mean that that goes away, and so does that. So another of our gates has gone, and I get to expose that, which is another crossroads. Now, one of the challenges I've got here is that I've got a wax eater. Now, a wax eater is going to attack, and the problem we've got is that I move here to avoid the wax eater, the key disappears, which means that that's 1 key I can't get. And these 2 keys I'm going to have to move or fall, and they're going to disappear. So it looks like I've actually lost because of that flurry of keys, but we're going to keep going. This is part of the fun of the game. It's a challenge. It's not an easy game, but it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. So I'm going to move there. Now let me just quickly check with the wax eaters, do they force you to drop keys? Right, so you do not lose your keys. So I'm going to go to there. That means I'm going to get hit by the wax eater. What you do then is you discard the top 3 tiles. So a gate, a straight line and a T-junction, and you go lights out. So this is red. Lights out means, so we can discard that, and we discard that as well because they've gone out of sight. Lights out means that you do not get to illuminate anything. So this one is illuminated by blue and this one's illuminated by yellow. If blue and yellow weren't there, they would also disappear. And you have to have someone come next to you to turn your light on. However, the good thing is I do have a key now, so I just need to get one more key. So let's see if I can manage that. I'm not sure if I can, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give it a good go. So that was red. He is now lights out. Better turn that to the lights out side. So now we have yellow. So these turn into crumble. They go into a hole as soon as if you stay on them. So I'm going to have to go up there, which means that none of these, this one turns to a hole, but that one is still illuminated. Now what I'm going to have to do, this is not going to work, I don't think. These two still have tokens, still have keys on them. If I stand on that one, then that key goes away, that goes away, and that goes away. And that turns into a hole. So yeah, I think that I'm not going to be able to win this, but it doesn't matter. So that's that. And then I get to illuminate 3 more. So there we are. So that's that turn. Let's need to change battery on my camera. That was a longer turn than normal, and then we'll come back to the next turn. Alright, so let's see what we can do with this. So blue is the one that does not have a key, and there's 1 key left, which is here. And that's going to turn into a crumbling hole at the next turn. So I do think this is me done with. But what we're going to do is going to come back down here for blue. Red is going to go across onto the key. That will turn into a hole, and he can expose 2 more. Like that. Yellow is going to come along here, which is going to mean that disappears, which is a T. And then purple is going to have to go here to avoid that there, which means that is going to turn into a hole. That disappears, and that disappears. And I think that there are no more key things in there, but we shall keep playing anyway. So let's go to the next turn. So blue, oh, blue didn't expose. Oops, blue didn't expose any. So blue, that was a mistake. So blue's there. So blue is going to go here, which means that goes away and that goes away. So yes, that's another key gone. We'll confirm how many keys we've got left, and we can put 2 in. Oh no, 2. That's not good. Now red was lights out, so actually that means that these go away as well. But red now is lights on because it's met with yellow. So they go away because it was lights out. And now it's met with yellow, so he goes back to lights on. I forgot about that, apologies. So that's that. And then purple has also missed out on exposing. Oh, oh dear, this is it. So this is going to be, he's going to have to, yeah, this is going to be the end of the game, I think. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to discard another card, discard another key. There was another key in there. So I discard another key because of that move. Yeah, that's now the end of the game. I think he goes lights out, blue goes lights out. He falls. Yeah, I think that sadly is the end of the game. So I managed to get 3 keys, but I had so many exposed, and then this sudden cluster of wax eaters has really done me in. So I hope you've enjoyed that playthrough. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you're going to go and buy this game. I really like it. That was probably, is you never know what kind of game you're going to get when you start to record something like this. That was probably a little bit of the most disappointing that I've had, in a sense, just because of how everything clustered together, and it didn't go down to the last tile like it often does. And in most of the times, like I've played this 4, 5, 6 times now with people and on my own, and it almost always goes down to the last tile. And I've got out and I've not got out. This time, I'm not going to get out. Our lights are out. Our candles are guttering. Let me know what you think. Go and check out the Kickstarter that's running now. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. And I'll wrap up by saying, as I always do, please do stay healthy, stay safe, and stay well.